Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 39th episode of the Rumble Pak Podcast. I'm Blake, here with...
Devin.
And...
Brock.
Woo!
We are here today on a beautiful fall afternoon to discuss all things Nintendo.
What's Nintendo?
Everything.
What's Nintendo? Only the greatest gaming company in the entire world.
Darn tootin' it is.
So, let's go ahead and jump into it with some news. So, something that came out a little while ago was a trailer for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. This came out on September 8th. It's
Out
a
of
game.
nowhere.
It is a game.
So when
all
when this came out, I was heavily expecting Breath of the Wild 2 update information and like anything revolving around that game.
Yeah.
But we didn't
Wah, wah.
really get anything like that. So
Didn't they just say, like, we're still hard at work on Breath of the Wild 2?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mentioned it, which is actually worse than if they didn't say a thing, because now I think they're not going to say anything for the rest of the year.
Well,
But,
see, I would
you know.
rather them say, like, we're still working on it, as opposed to, like, being silent, because
Yeah.
that could be, like, we're not doing it.
I don't know. It was for me. It was
I
kind of
guess.
like reassuring that they at least
They're not scrapping
made
it.
a note about it.
Yes.
They would never scrap it, but just the little note like, hey, we know it's on everyone's radar. Just be patient. I don't know.
Yeah.
Reassuring for me at least.
But then when they started
not
getting
Metroid.
into... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's not like Metroid Prime. It still have.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. But, so they were like, okay, we're still working on Breath of the Wild 2, but in the meantime, here is a new game,
Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. And this is supposed to be like a precursor to Breath of the Wild. It was supposed to take place like the 100 years before Breath of the Wild takes place, when Link and Zelda were still...
Yeah. Basically
With-
like fighting in like the big battle before this whole calamity happened, or I guess what is the calamity.
Yeah. So you still have like Urbosa and Daruk,
All the champions.
Mifa,
Yep.
the Rito one. I don't remember his name.
Can't remember.
I don't remember.
Falco.
Rivali.
Rivali. There we go.
Oh, it's not Falco? Crap.
That's in... Falco makes an appearance in the second game.
So they're all alive.
He's a
You
little
can-
bit younger.
You can fight as them. It looks like, I don't know, you probably have something to do with the divine beasts, I would
Maybe.
think.
It's basically they took Hyrule Warriors, the game that came out on the Wii U and 3DS, and they're like, oh, let's put like a Breath of the Wild spin on it.
Yeah.
So
Which
it's like,
honestly was smart, in my opinion.
yeah, I mean, like, I think it'll flesh out the lore of Breath of the Wild a little bit more. I think people were kind of like yearning for that when they played Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Because like you see like the handful of memories that look back to the past, but you never actually get to play in the past. So this will at least give people the chance to kind of actually play that story and not just see it in a cutscene form.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It looks cool. I would play it probably. I didn't play the original Hyrule Warriors.
I didn't either, but I heard good stuff about it. So
Yeah.
it's like now that it's like kind of tied into the Breath of the Wild universe,
Makes
I kind
me wanna
of
play it even
yeah,
more.
it makes me want to definitely play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about Hyrule Warriors originally either, but I was really wondering like how much story they could really pack into a game like that, which is basically hack and slash away thousands of enemies.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the first one, maybe there is tons of story and I just didn't realize it, but that I feel like will be interesting. I'm wondering how much world building they can do in a game like this.
Right.
I think for me,
But
I mean, the story would be interesting to like see more behind the scenes type of stuff, but like I feel like we know a good portion of what happened back then. I'm
Yeah.
more interested in like seeing what was ruined in Breath of the Wild, like Castletown or something.
I guess that's true. You'll probably see what everything looked like 100 years prior.
right.
I didn't think about that. That's interesting. Because
Yeah,
you'll
and that
definitely
would work
probably go to
really
like
well
those
with a game
key
like this.
environments.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think. Do you think it'll be weird though that it's such like a different type of gameplay than Breath of the Wild? Do you think that would be like jarring at all?
I mean, I
No,
don't think so.
because-
Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
One of
The
these
thing-
podcasts.
actually, that- the thing is, it was fairly surprising when they announced the first Hyrule Warriors, because it was one of the first times that they really like loaned out an IP to such an extent,
Yeah.
and literally just it put Zelda in the name of another franchise, which I'm blanking of the
Yeah,
actual name of this
Dynasty
franchise
Warriors.
right now. Dynasty Warriors, right? And Nintendo's so touchy about all their properties that when they did that, you were surprised, but you also knew that they were going to do everything possible to like properly represent their stuff. So
Yeah.
like all the characters had moves that were, really them and whatnot.
Mhm.
So now that they've done that once, I mean, I expect the same thing here, and it should be nothing less than fantastic.
Yeah, that's true.
Or at least
Yeah,
that's
I-
what I guess.
I think at this point, like Brock's saying, since there was a game before this, people will probably expect it. I don't think they're since they're advertising it as something kind of adjacent to
Yeah.
the primary games or whatever, I think it's just expected it'll be different gameplay.
Yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, I guess that's true because they're not branding it as like Breath of the Wild. They're branding it as like Hyrule Warriors. This is like the Age of Calamity episode or whatever,
Mhm.
which I guess makes sense. Do you think this means that Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out soon? Do you think this is like... It's obviously to fill the gap between the two games.
Yeah.
But do you think this is like... It... I don't know, I feel like I'm answering my own questions, but like... It's to build hype, definitely, but like how far out do you think this Breath of the Wild 2 is in reality? If you had to put a date on it right now, when do you think it's going to get
We should
released?
rename this. We should rename this podcast to the Rumble Pak Podcast, Breath of the Wild Speculation.
Yeah. We'll be doing speculation for the next 2 years.
I
Well,
mean,
my insider information says next Christmas. That's all I'm giving.
Christmas.
My
yeah.
insider information.
I
I mean, that'd be the smartest time to release it.
I don't expect it to be released until 2021. I don't think it's coming out this year.
Definitely not this year.
No. But okay, so at the end of this little Hyrule Warriors teaser,
Yeah.
they said that they're going to show more information on September 26th, which is coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, that's like, what? Over the weekend.
Yeah. And what I wonder, since I don't know, I feel like they gave a decent amount of information about this game that's adjacent to the primary series or whatever. I wonder if they're going to say something about Breath of the Wild 2.
I don't know.
I hate to burst your bubble, but they've already said more about that direct. And you want me to burst your bubble? It's a 50-minute direct about Hyrule Warriors and Hyrule Warriors only.
I had a feeling
So-
they wouldn't say anything. I feel like they're gonna go deep into like the systems and gameplay and.
Which is fine.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
That's what you'd expect from them saying, "Hey, we're gonna show off more information," but of course, you have to read into it at this point because there's been too many things in the past where they would say, "Hey, we're just gonna show you this little Hyrule Warriors thing," and then they show off like Breath of the Wild 2 stuff.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. If they were gonna show off one thing in that direct just out of nowhere, it would be like, "Hey, here's the logo and the name. Bye."
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
Yeah. Anything.
There's still hope.
I'll literally take anything at this point.
You'll take a logo and a name?
Yes.
Yes,
I will.
I'll leak something to you tomorrow.
Okay.
There you
sounds
go.
Good.
From his insider source.
Okay. Perfect.
Well, any other thoughts on this new game coming out? Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity?
Not really. Just looks
One of
fun.
us should buy it so I can actually see what this game is.
Yeah, maybe.
I want to play as Urbosa. She's
Yeah,
so
she'd be cool. Like the lightning helm or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Call down like the thunder and lightning.
Urbosa's Fury.
Yeah, basically.
Done by Urbosa herself.
Alright, well, if no more thoughts, let's move on. That game is coming out November 20th, 2020.
Pretty soon.
Yeah, so we got like 2 months and then it comes out.
Yep.
Just in time for the holidays.
Woo-woo.
So...
It's almost Christmas. What's happening?
Some more games that are coming out soon that got shown off in a partner showcase. The September...
Nintendo Direct Mini.
Yes. The thing that is starting to get a very long name. Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase, September 2020. 3DS XL. They showed off a bunch of games. They've been doing this, I think, starting in July. And then they did one for August, and then now one for September. I'm starting to think that these are things that they would have like shown off at E3 or something like quickly in a montage, but now they've just like spread them out over the last 3 months or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But first thing that was shown off was we had a new Monster Hunter trailer for Monster Hunter Rise. That's coming out March 26th, 2021. Then they showed off another Monster Hunter game called Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wing of Ruin. That's going to come out summer 2021.
I thought this was kind of funny because the Stories game or whatever looked better than the mainline game.
I actually thought the same thing. Like,
Yep.
I like the art style was very different between the two,
Mhm.
and like I preferred the Stories
Yeah.
art style, which seems to be like a spin-off of the main Monster Hunter
Yeah.
franchise.
I mean,
But-
I did think, like, the cool big wolf you could ride on
Yeah.
was interesting for Monster Hunter Rise, but overall I think the Stories one looked like it would be more fun.
Yeah.
But what do I know? I've never played this series.
I haven't played it either. I always hear people have very like high opinions of it, but
Mhm.
never got the chance to sink all the hours in because I think it's a game where you can just like grind and play for hours and hours.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It's a 100-hour game.
Yeah.
And plus.
So the next game they showed off was Fitness Boxing 2, Rhythm and Exercise, available December 4th, 2020.
I thought this was funny because it's advertised as like an exercising game, but what
Yeah.
they showed off did not look strenuous at all.
Oh, I know.
It just was like, left,
Flail your
right.
arms.
What was like, it's called Fitness Boxing 2, but in the trailer they were like, there's options to turn off the boxing portion.
Yeah.
I was like,
what's the
this
point?
is a boxing game. What are you gonna do if you turn off the boxing?
Just press
Yeah,
A.
my thought was How many people who have Fitness Boxing the original have been clamoring for Fitness Boxing too?
Yeah,
It's just been like there was overwhelming support.
The highly anticipated release of the second game. Yeah, so there was that.
Available summer 2021. Pick it up.
Next,
You know what? Actually, I think you should.
we
Yeah,
should get
you
this.
should pick it up, and that will get you back on.
Oh, into the
I'm
Ring
delayed,
Fit
I'm very
Adventure
delayed.
train.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just
Yeah.
ease into that, and then we
Yeah.
can. I'll turn off boxing mode, just as a warm up.
Of course.
Do it.
Ring Fit's dead to me. Sorry.
Same.
It was a
Pass it
failed
over to me. I
experiment.
want to try it for a month.
It was a failed experiment.
Can you mail it?
Yeah. Will you actually play it? Will you stream it? Will you do a 30-day experiment?
I'd do a 30-day experiment. We'll
Okay.
talk about it over Christmas.
All right. We'll plan
Yeah.
something. We'll plot something.
Okay.
What do we have next?
Disgaea VI, Defiance of Destiny. I don't know what it is.
This game was that game where it was just like wild. When you would hit like an enemy, it would be like trillions upon trillions
Oh,
of numbers
yeah.
showing up, and like it was just the most like outrageous looking
Yeah.
take on like a game I'd ever seen.
Yeah. Not interested.
I'd never heard of this series before, and I was kind of surprised with how like
There's
outlandish
6 of
everything
them.
looked. Yeah, I was like, how is this the sixth one and I've never heard of this?
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't really think much of it.
Yeah, just kind of it seems like a kind of a quirky game. I'm sure it has a audience though if there's 6 of them.
Yeah. Anyway, that's available summer 2021. The next one is Empire of Sin, which I think you play as like a gangster or
Yeah.
something. You're in charge of like a gangster mob.
Yeah, it seems like you're like the gameplay revolves around like you're putting like hits out on people, just kind of like a mobster type game, kind of old school play style.
Yeah. That is available December 1st, 2020. Next up we have Sniper Elite 4. It looks like a sniper game.
Yeah, this one didn't impress me that much. It was just kind of a generic soldier wartime game.
Yeah.
And it's like
There's 4 of them.
there's 4. I've never even heard of these games. They look so generic that I'm like, how is this the 4th one in the
Yeah.
series? Like, I don't
Well,
understand how games like this.
You can see in the
beat
logo.
Call of Duty and stuff. Like, why would anybody be picking these up rather than like something that's well established at this point?
Yeah.
Because you get to play as a chisel-jawed Italian dude, and Call of Duty is all about
That's true.
Americans.
That's
So
true.
that's something.
You got me there.
So if this tickles your fancy, this is out holiday 2020. No set date.
Then we had The Long Dark. I don't remember what this was.
This was just kind of like a wilderness survival game.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You're out in the snowy regions, the forest, fighting off bears, wolves. It's kind of a survival game. There was like a permadeath mode, it said. Seems like there's kind of a lot of those
It's-
games coming out recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gameplay they described just reminded me of Don't Starve. I mean, I'm sure Don't Starve
Yeah.
way more stylized in a different way, but it's the same
Yeah, same
concept.
sort
It
of
seemed like.
kind of survival
And
game.
I have to comment that what they showed of this game is what I expect or have expected from that dog sledding game
Yeah, the Red Lantern. I
for
kinda
what
got
now
the
6
same
months.
vibes.
The Red Lantern.
Yeah.
It looks similar, and it's kind of the same thing I thought that game would be. So
Yeah.
it seems like that's not what that game's going to be, and this is actually closer to what
Right,
I
yeah,
might
yeah.
actually like.
Or that game is gonna be this game, but with dog sledding. You're in the I did
It's
a
true.
lot.
Could be.
These two studios are what you're saying is these two studios just need to
They just need to
team
become
up
one.
and then just
Hook up.
make the
Yeah.
ultimate game.
Yes, precisely.
So that was available. That was one of the ones that was available the day of the partner showcase, September 17th. So that is out now. Next up, they showed off PGA Tour 2K21. Golf game. Is there much to say here?
Ooh, man, do I have comments.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, there's tons to say here. As a Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2003 avid player, still
Yeah.
today, this game looks only moderately better.
Then which one? 2003?
2003 on the GameCube.
Okay.
I swear
Yikes.
this game only looks moderately better. The GameCube
Okay.
game, for spectators, all the spectators have, like, sim jewel heads, so they're like diamonds.
Okay.
This game has improved upon that. The spectators have real heads, but the graphics of the courses are not any better. I
So-
compared myself.
18 years later, we fixed the heads, but that's about it.
I mean, if
Yes,
that's
and
not
we got
working,
rid of
like,
Tiger
I don't know
Woods'
what
name.
is.
That's true. They completely ditched Tiger Woods.
But on a lighter note, I like that this is available because as a sports game fan, it means that 2K is at least trying something on Nintendo consoles, which
Yeah.
I haven't gotten in a couple consoles now. So, like,
It's true.
I know NBA's on it as well. And for a lot of people, just any sports game at all is a big deal. So,
True.
I'm happy this is a thing. It doesn't look good, but I'm happy it's there.
Well, there you go. I will say I have been getting ads for this game on all of my social medias for like the past 2 months, like non-stop. Like every single ad I see is for this game.
So I'm not the only one. I was really surprised because I like, how are you going to rope someone into a golf game with an internet ad? Like,
I know.
who
like,
says,
okay.
oh, yeah.
And it's like literally the guy. It's a picture of the guy that's on the cover, like driving, and it's like there's like this like blur behind him, like, ooh, action. I'm like, what is this?
No, that's actually just how blurry the courses are in the game.
Oh, okay, so this is actually gameplay footage. I see.
Yeah.
They're not trying to sell you on anything that's not.
It just looks like he is moving at like 1,000,000
I
miles
know.
an hour through space.
It's like they just took the camera and went.
It's-
But he has to move along with it in order for
That's
this to
true.
work.
It's actually a
So
new.
He's hanging on to the camera.
It's a new. It's a new form of golf where you swing, but the swing has so much momentum. It just you fly forward with the club.
That's true.
And so you're trying to put yourself in the hole.
Okay.
I don't know where that came from, but
Okay.
that should exist.
So that is available
Tomorrow, September 25th.
tomorrow. Pick it up.
Pick it up.
They have real heads now.
Real heads,
If it
not great courses.
if it goes down to $5, I'll have it.
That's your price point? Alright. Next up, they showed Hades. This was a game that they had showed off previously, I think in their indie direct. This was from the same studio that made like Bastion and Transistor. This is a roguelike where you are fighting, I think, up through like the underworld or something, or to the underworld. You're fighting as Hades.
Yeah.
You're fighting all these mythical creatures as a roguelike. Seems cool. Very fast-paced. Very similar art style to like Bastion and Transistor, if you've seen those games. But that was another one that was available the day of the showcase, September 17th. Next up, there was Balan World. I'm probably saying that wrong. Balan Wonderland? Wonderworld? I'm just gonna stop talking.
Oh god.
This game I will be frank, looked terrible.
Yep.
This game looked like a Nintendo
I
GameCube
don't remember
game.
it.
This game looked
Good.
like it came out on GameCube. I apologize to the studio, but it did not look good.
Yeah, I don't remember it. Probably
it was
that's
like
why.
you were like two kids running around this world that just looked like Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg, and
Classic.
you like
Definitely.
teamed up to do these team moves, but just like the models and the world just looked so not great to me that I couldn't get over that. It kind of gave like you know those games called Knights that they always advertise in like Sonic Adventure Battle 2.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It like
yeah.
gave off those vibes to me, even though I've never even played those games. But it just looked old. I mean, look up pictures if you want, like as we're talking, but it didn't look great to me. Anything to say here? Besides me just railing
The
on
guys
this game?
Nope.
I mean, I did it for PJ Golf. We should all get one game
That's
to
true.
rail on.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
I guess this is my one for this. This is available spring 2021.
Don't get it.
Pick it up. I cannot give it any more esteem. Next up, there was Rune Factory 5. This is another one that's going to be available in 2021. I have never played these games, but they have almost got me to pick them up like every single every single one that comes out, because they're basically like Harvest Moon. They're like, they've taken like the farm simulator and then they've added like combat, they've added the relationships, similar to like Stardew Valley, but like in more of like,
It looks like anime.
yeah, kind of like a JRPG looking Stardew Valley crossover thing. But I remember when this came out, there was, I think, either Rune Factory 3 or Rune Factory 4 came out on the 3DS, I want to say. And I was heavily considering picking it up because at that point, like, Stardew Valley wasn't out. And I was just, like, kind of craving that old Harvest Moon feel. And this seemed to be, like, the thing that closest met that at the time. So yeah,
I've never had these games on my radar.
It looks decent if you're into those games, like a farming sim or relationship sim, something like that. So yeah, that's available 2021. No hard release. And lastly, there was Ori and the Will of the Wisps. This was one that was dropping the day of the Partner Showcase, September 17th, so it is currently out. This is, I think, the second game in the Ori series. I may be wrong there, but I know that there was previously Ori and the Blind Forest. People were happy recently when this came out to several different systems beyond Steam, so I think this will be the same. I think a lot of people like this series.
But basically it's just like a platformer puzzle game.
Yep.
With very, very distinctive visuals.
Yeah,
and
very stylized art.
Flowy.
Yeah.
Very dreamlike.
Yep.
Yeah. These games have been on my wish list actually for a long time. I've just never had that push to pick them up.
Yeah, I think they've been on
yeah.
several like Steam sales and things like that. So I think this is on a lot of people's radar. So smart decision coming out with this to Switch. So that was all that was showed off in the Direct Mini Partner Showcase September 2020. Did I get that right? 3DS XL.
Cool.
So something that I wanted to talk about or introduce in this episode was something called the rumor mill. I love gaming rumors. I love speculation. So I thought I could run down through some of these things that are in a supposed leak, which probably won't even end up happening. But just get your guys' thoughts on kind of how likely these are to actually happen, but more importantly, just your thoughts on if it would be a good idea or if it's something that's interesting to you. Okay?
Okay.
Got it.
So what if there was a WarioWare Switch It Up coming summer 2021?
I mean, that would be cool. WarioWare is fun. I don't think
that
it's
is
gonna
undeniably happening.
Undeniably.
There's been
Is coming from your
WarioWare on
insider?
literally every system. Yeah, of course. Plus, that name I haven't thought about it is perfect.
I know.
It's wonderful.
I thought that same thing because they always do always do some sort of reference to the system, like WarioWare Shake It or Tilt It or whatever it is. But
yeah, 100% happening. 100% I'm buying it since I haven't gotten to play one since the DS. Oh man, yes, oh yes.
okay, what about if the newest hit, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, came to Nintendo Switch?
I could see that happening.
It's on PS5.
Mhm.
It's on Steam. I think it's on Xbox. Any chance of it coming to Switch?
I mean, I could see it coming to
This is
Switch.
gonna sound really dumb, but I think the graphics are too good to come to Switch.
What if they somehow did a low res version?
I guess it could happen. After watching it, like I don't know what the Switch could run. Honestly, I don't. I want it to happen though. It's like the most switchy game for the PS4
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Okay. What about Nintendo Game Boy games coming to the Nintendo Switch Online
Oh my gosh.
in October?
I don't think so.
Ooh,
But that would be awesome. I would play those games with you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep that thought. I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
Brock, your thoughts?
that is 10% happening as a not happening,
Okay.
but 90% I want it to happen.
Okay, so follow-up question. If this does happen, if this ever does happen, if they ever add Game Boy games, what are like 2 or 3 games that you think they would add?
Oh man. I mean,
Will they add Pokemon?
I wish they would. I don't know though. Actually, yeah. Pokemon.
Okay. Would they do like a yellow version, or would they do all 3, or would they do silver and gold? Would they do crystal?
I hope they do all of them.
Whoa, are we talking? Okay. Is
Or at
Crystal
least-
Game Boy, not Game Boy Advance? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess to
Normally-
clarify too, I'm kind of under the assumption if they would ever do this, Game Boy and Game Boy Color games would be just the same.
Together. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my thought. Any other thoughts on games that they could possibly add?
Okay, so Pokemon is the title game to how they release this. You're right. But I've got a good one here, and
Okay.
it's Kirby Tilt and Tumble.
Kirby Tilt and Tumble.
Do you know anything about this game?
No.
I do, yes.
It had an not accelerometer, but some rudimentary
Yeah.
motion detector in the cartridge, and you move Kirby along these like monkey ball style stages
Yeah.
by tilting your Game Boy. And I could not think of a better way of bringing that back than doing it on like the Switch, where you have your little Joy-Con.
I think that'd be good.
And it was a good game as far as I remember. So
yeah,
that's it.
I was thinking that maybe they could add like the Pokemon trading card game that they had on Game Boy.
Oh yeah.
I loved that game, so I'm very biased in that opinion. I was also thinking like the Wario Land. Did you ever play that?
No, I
It's
didn't.
technically like
I've
Super
seen it.
Mario Land 3, I think. But you play
Yeah.
as Wario, and it's much different like gameplay than Mario. You like charge into enemies instead of jumping on their heads, and Wario's just
Right, it, like-
because he's so greedy and money like motivated.
Mhm.
Hashtag money motivated. Another one I was thinking of is there's Super Mario Land 2. I had that game as a kid and I loved it. There was actually a power up in there that I don't think I've seen in a very long time. It's like a turnip or something,
Mhm.
and you get rabbit ears on your head. And they like let you like slow fall basically.
Huh. Well, since you named the second and the third Mario Land, then you have to add the first for me and me only, who I think is
Okay.
the only fan of that game in the world. Because everyone else I've ever seen hates it with a passion. But, oh man, the overworld theme for level 1 is constantly stuck in my head. And
didn't-
with save states, I could finally beat it.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't realize that was on Game Boy. For some reason, I had in my head that was on something earlier. I don't know why.
Yeah, definitely Game Boy. That was my, like, Game Boy game. Also, they would add Tetris. I don't know why we didn't
Oh,
say
yeah.
this, but
Oh,
Tetris,
yeah.
the Game Boy
Okay.
version, would be there.
That's true. I don't know how we forgot about those.
So I don't think they would add this, but I kind of want them to, just because I never beat this game and it was so frustrating to me, and I want to beat it. But if they would add the Atlantis game,
Like Disney Atlantis?
yeah, I want a
No
chance
way,
to beat
but
it.
okay. We could probably pick that up like on Amazon for like $2.
I have it. I
Oh,
still
okay.
have it.
Well, easy. Beat it.
Well,
You're an adult.
I wanna
you
do
can
it
do
on
anything
big
you want.
screen, though.
I could pull out the Game Boy player for the GameCube.
We don't have the GameCube here. So
Maybe one day.
that's not gonna work.
Okay, what next rumor? What if for the next Super Smash Bros. Character, it was Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay. Would you like it?
I don't care.
Okay. Brock?
I know last time I went on a rant, well, a positive rant, and said they finally, like, added all the characters I ever wanted. I had no list of characters I want anymore. So yeah, now the top of my list is, like, Crash Bandicoot, Rayman, and Bomberman. Like, you know, kind of protagonists of other companies.
Yeah.
So I'd be all about that.
That'd be pretty cool. Those three that you just named would be awesome. Because those have all been on Nintendo consoles before, so...
Yeah.
Nintendo people at least know who all those are.
Wolflink and
Right.
Midna were bust.
Wolflink and Midna, you're still betting on that?
I'm not betting on it. It's just still on my list.
Okay, what about a Monster Hunter character?
I don't know.
Would
if
that be a
Smash
monster
is.
or a character?
Like a humanoid Monster Hunter.
I don't know. I've never played.
I mean,
this game.
remember, there's that ridiculous dragon is an assist trophy, so I guess you're kind of in the realm of possibility.
Do you think since Monster Hunter's been getting all this love recently that it's more likely?
I don't know.
No.
No?
I don't think the characters are unique enough to have
Yeah.
a move set, and I think that's one of the primary
True.
things they go for.
Alright. What about in Super Mario 3D All-Stars, the game that just came out? What are the odds that Super Mario Galaxy 2 will be added as DLC?
Just adding a whole game as DLC? No.
Brock is giving a big 0.
Big goose egg.
Well, why? Give me your thoughts on why.
That's a whole game. That's not really adding extra content.
Yeah, but it's DLC. You'd have to pay for it.
No. I don't think so.
Okay.
If they
What if it was
hadn't
for
made this a
$50
limited,
or something?
I don't know, but you just cut Brock off.
Sorry.
Let's hear what he has to say.
if they hadn't made this a limited release, I'd give it like a 10% chance. But since it's a limited release game to begin with, no, that's the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah, that
now
was
you're
my
saying you only have 3 months to buy
Yeah.
this with Galaxy 2.
That's true.
And the game just came out.
That's true. Okay. That was I thought you guys were gonna say that, but I just wanted to throw it out there.
Why do you think that?
And then what if in the next Nintendo Direct, what if there was a next Nintendo Direct in October, and at the very end, they announce Legend of Zelda Breath of Evil?
Also, the worst name I've ever heard.
Yeah. Terrible name.
Breath of Evil.
They
Breath of the Wild, Breath of Evil.
That's what my morning breath is.
Okay.
So no. And also they just had this Mario Direct.
Tweeting it.
I mean, they just had a Nintendo Direct. I don't know if they'd do another one so soon.
In October. That's another month.
They went a whole year without doing one.
Okay.
Anyway, no, I don't think it's happening. And Breath of Evil is still not a good name.
What's a better name?
I don't know.
We're not going to come up with a better name in 30 seconds? Come on.
I don't work on the developing team for this. I
Well,
don't know.
Think about it.
Breath of the Wild 2 is a better name, to
I
be
agree.
honest.
I agree also. Breath of Evil. All right. That's all the rumors and things that I found around the web that I thought were interesting
Thank you.
in the past 2 weeks.
I'm glad people are hopeful so that they can have their hopes crushed, because that's always fun to see.
Yeah. What else did we have going on?
I don't know. Depends what we want to talk about. We could talk for 20 hours.
We want to talk about what we were...
Let's do a little
Little what? See if we're on the same
Let's do a
wave.
little recap of what we've thought so far of the Super Mario 3D World remakes compared to the originals. Because
Alright.
that's all we've been playing, to be honest, right?
Yeah. All I've been playing recently.
So quick thoughts on each of them.
I have completely beaten Super Mario 64 on
You did it in 3 days.
on the 3D All-Stars version, the new version. I got all 120 stars. I thought this game was awesome. It's everything that I
When you were
remember.
5?
What?
When you were 5 or when you were 27?
It's everything that I remember about everything. About all times. It transcended time and space. The nostalgia hit everywhere in the right ways. But this was exactly how I remembered the game. I know it doesn't have a bunch of the glitches and stuff that speedrunners use and all this other stuff, but the core game is how you would remember it. The controls felt just how I remembered. Everything looked graphically just how I remembered. I know they updated some stuff, but it looked like how I remembered it. So yeah, super solid. 10 out of 10.
Nice. So I have gone the cheap route with this, as everybody should expect, and have decided to just play the original of all these games since I have all these consoles hooked up. I also beat Super Mario 64, but I did not get all 120 stars. I did the cheapy way and only got 70. But with Blake, I have the same blinding nostalgia, and yeah, the camera's not perfect. Yeah, there are a couple of little annoying parts, but the game's pretty awesome, and I had a lot of fun playing it in 3 whole days. And
Yeah.
honestly, I just don't understand the people who start it up and say it's unplayable because it's old, because it's not. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I feel like
In-
they tuned it so well just to begin with. It's so good. And I've never really had
So yeah,
camera issues.
I found ways to get around my original issues that I didn't know when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So like in the start menu, there's a camera setting where you can just hold R to pause the camera.
Mm-hmm.
My main problem was that the camera would move when you're trying to like walk on thin rails or whatever.
Yeah.
That fixed that. And I was actually kind of worried that since I was playing the original version, it might look blurrier because that happens. But honestly, like, perfectly fine with the original graphics. Like, does not affect me at all. And I was really happy to find that out.
Well, that's good. I kind of had a feeling it would be like that because I feel like this game still holds up to today, even not remade, even if you go back and play it on the actual N64, which I've done like a million times. So next, I've started playing Sunshine on 3D All Stars. I have about 30 stars. The thing is, I haven't played the original Sunshine in so long that it's hard for me to compare how this one feels to what it used to feel like, what the original game feels like. I can only like compare what I remember it feeling like, and honestly, like, it feels the same to me. I'm always like leaning towards Super Mario 64 as my favorite because that's just like one of my favorite eras in video gaming. But this game is still cool to be able to play in the same place as like Mario 64 and to be able to play just on a modern console or like on the go on the Switch if you'd want to.
Yeah, I've always loved Sunshine. Like, I have nostalgia for 64, but somehow I have more nostalgia for Sunshine.
Yeah.
And I'm also 30 Shine Sprites in now. And for some reason, the graphics of this have aged more than 64 has because the whole thing's just so blurry. Like, it looks good, the textures are all good, but it has that GameCube blur over it,
Right.
which kind of just you notice all the time. It's a haze.
Huh.
So I actually think the graphics in this are kind of worse than playing on the N64 or playing 64 because 64, a wall was just green, right?
Right.
It didn't try like.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only thing I'm really noticing playing the old version that I think having the remake would be awesome for. But as far as like gameplay wise, I'm having just as much fun as ever.
I am finding it a lot easier than I remembered it being. I think it was just because I haven't played this game since I was so young that I remember it being much harder. So like I just finished the level where the hotel is being like overrun by the little manta ray shadow
The
things.
Manta Rays, yeah.
And I remember that level being so difficult as a kid, but I did it like last night or the night before, and it took me like 2 minutes. I was like, wow, this was the easiest thing ever. So
Unfortunately, so far, I can't agree with you, but I'm glad you're having an easy time.
I mean, it's still enjoyable, just easier.
As I texted you yesterday, I told you the Sandbird I quit at
Yeah.
because I remembered it as being horrible. It took me 20 minutes right before this to beat the Sandbird.
Really?
So, you know, I still remember the ones that I suck at.
I didn't have any trouble with that. The one where you collect the 8 coins, the 8 red coins.
Yeah.
Huh.
That wide duck to the left, I couldn't figure out how to stay on
yeah.
the bird.
I literally just, when it was tilting, when it was rotating, I literally just like slowly crept around the corner that was turning. It doesn't seem like right physically that you'd be able to do that, but you can just literally like tiptoe across some of those corners. I noticed that in another stage where it was one of the ones where you lose flood and you just have to platform with Mario, and there's those giant like floating like Rubik's Cube looking things, and I was just literally just like walking across this thing that it really didn't look right. It looked like I was walking at like almost a 90-degree angle or something, but that's another thing. It's like I like the movement and the feeling of 64 so much better than Sunshine for whatever reason, that playing Sunshine directly after playing Mario 64 just feels like not as tight or something.
The difference, yeah.
But
it's very different.
It's so different, yeah. It's hard to compare them because like you also have Flood, which is like you don't have anything close to that in 64, so it's hard to compare. As far as Galaxy goes, have you played Galaxy recently?
Yeah. I have not, and I will play it right after I beat Sunshine in 5 days probably. But
yeah,
I'm most looking forward to this because I have no nostalgia for Galaxy. I remember it being good, but that's it.
Yeah.
I love Rosalina, but I don't remember her story at all.
Oh. Okay.
So, yeah, there are a lot of things I'm looking forward to Galaxy about. I can't talk about them yet.
Yeah, same. I'm kind of in the same boat. Nostalgia-wise, I really don't have a ton of nostalgia for whatever reason. I remember the hub world I really liked. But as far as like honing in on like a level, like I honestly can't remember a lot of the levels just because they're the nature of Galaxy being like these planetoids that you like traverse across. For some reason that is hard for me to like have like a concrete like idea of what a level is in my head, since like they're so like segmented almost.
Right.
And also I haven't played Galaxy probably more than like once or twice all the way through, so Mario 64 I know the levels like the back of my hand just because I've played it like a billion times. So yeah, I'm in the same boat. I haven't played this one in a long time, and I will be excited to see what it looks like after I beat Sunshine.
Definitely.
Overall, though, I'm happy to have those 3 games on one console, though. I'm happy just to have them all in one place and be able to play them without, like, the extra hassle of having to set up other consoles and whatnot, since I don't have those set up.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I see the value. It's just...
Yeah. Well, what else we got going on?
Not much.
Anything to share for sharing time?
Not on my end.
No, I failed.
All right, I did too.
What a surprise.
We introduced one new segment today. We can't go all out on
That's
segments.
True. The rumor mill. We'll keep on churning. All right, well, I think that's it. we fleshed it all out. We'll have to see what details they give on Hyrule Warriors Calamity over the weekend. We'll probably have to report on that if there's anything interesting that comes out of that.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. This has been the Rumble Pak Podcast, episode 39. Catch us on all things podcasts, all things YouTube, all things.
Whoa.
Yeah. Our Instagram and Twitter are now very highly managed and have content almost 3 days a week. So
We got the content
look out for that.
flowing for your viewing pleasure.
And send us emails. Send us
Send us
We message
strongly
board
worded
messages.
emails.
yes
Send us-
with boxing gloves.
Yes.
Send us pictures of your dogs. Just
Send us
send
pictures of your
something.
dogs. Alright, that is going to do it for us.
Got
Catch us on all things Rumble Pak Pod, Rumble Pak Podcast. We will see you next one.
Bye.
Bye.